Hi friends, how are you? It's Pam with Silver and Sparkles. I've just been able to be in my craft room some this morning and I'm making these super cute Alice in Christmasland bookmarks in a pocket. And so I just thought I'd craft a little bit on camera and show you guys what I'm making. So these are traditional bookmark kind of size digitals, and I've layered them and used some of my vintage trims and buttons and made a book page pocket with some washi tape and paper. So again, super easy, but I think has a nice touch as a little gift to give someone. Of course, it's going to look fabulous in a journal, or again, just as some extras, right? Happy mail, something like that. So these are digitals by Tina over on the Making and Creating site. This is part of the Digital Collage Club. I used the Alice in Wonderland in Christmasland bookmarks, and there's 4 of them on a page. And then I also used her retro Christmas wrapping paper. Isn't that cute? I just printed one of each of the 3 sheets to use for backing and the help with the pocket and stuff. So anyway, we're just going to play and craft and use some of my pretties today. So I hope everyone had a wonderful, wonderful holiday if you celebrate Thanksgiving. We did here with my family. Everyone, my last guest left this morning and she's still traveling, so hopefully she'll be home early afternoon and we'll know she's safe and sound. But we had a lot of fun, a lot of good food, a lot of laughter, and got the Christmas tree, the lights, and got it decorated. The young adults did that, which was wonderful for me, listening to them laugh and have fun while they did that. So anyway, it was a great, successful holiday. So I'm just using my vintage photo distress ink, and I inked around these. And if you're new here, by the way, let me tell you really quick while I'm going to cut some paper to mat around these. With the Digital Collage Club, it'll be linked in the description of the video, and I will have a coupon code for you. And they have the Digital Collage Club in the Clip Art Corner. So if you haven't had a chance to pop over there, you might want to go take a look. It's a subscription, but you get full access, whichever one you subscribe to, or you can subscribe to both, right? Full access to all the kits, and new stuff's being added all the time. And I love it. So anyway, Tina's awesome. Thank you, Tina. I am one of their ambassadors and have been trying. I've been a member for, years on my own, and then was asked if I'd be interested in working with them. So I've been having a lot of fun with that this year, and a fun opportunity for me. So thank you guys who take the time to click on my links and that kind of stuff. Okay, and if you're new, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, so happy to have you. I hope you have fun with us today, and we'll come back and watch other videos. So I know the size of these, and I'm cutting these about a 1/4 inch larger. So I'm cutting paper that's 2 1/4 by about 6 1/8. You can also, just glue it down and then trim around it if you don't want to measure. So I had 3 of the background papers, and then we're going to do 1 on some book page. And this is from my lace book, and that's what I'm also going to be using as the base of the pocket. So let me decide which bookmark this time I want on each of the background pages. I really liked Alice on the green, so I think I'm going to do that again. I just thought that the others, I think I was kind of okay wherever they ended up. The white rabbit, of course, looked really cute with the red, I thought. But I also think the Mad Hatter singing "Oh Holy Night" with the red would be cute. Why don't we do that? We'll do that just so it's a little different. We'll put "Let Your Christmas Be Merry and Bright" there. And then we'll do "Joy" with the white rabbit right here. And on this one, I did just glue it down, and then I just tore the book page, so it's maybe a tiny bit different size. But again, nothing has to be exactly the same or the same as I did it previously either, right? So I'm going to go ahead and glue him down, and we'll just use my ruler and tear it. Okay. I love making ephemera. I think you guys know that. And at Christmas time, I use things like this, again, for gifts. I use it for tags on presents, and then they have a little bookmark too. So it's like, yay, a double gift, right? I use them in my journals. So it's nice to write on the back for some extra journaling spot, or again, you know, as a place marker. So lots of fun with these. Let's go ahead and just get these glued down. Now, I posted some that I had made, I think last year, because I just hadn't gotten to this quite yet and was hoping to get to it today, which I am. The Alice themed things are always a big hit, and so I wanted to make some for this year too. But those I stitched around the edges, and I think pretty much did that. Stitched it to some book page, and then stapled a ribbon topper. They were pretty simple. And these, I'm doing a little bit more because I got out some of my vintage buttons and trims and things. So we'll see what we come up with. The other thing I'm going to show you is I got the plaid ribbon that I used came taped down, and it was a new roll of vintage plaid ribbon. Okay, a lion product. Look at that cute lion. But you can see how aged and everything it is. But it was taped down, and I've got this tiny little piece left. It's like masking tape, and look how aged and pretty it is. And then this little piece of adhesive that had been stuck to it. Let me show you where I used it. On Alice, I just put one little piece there to kind of give it more of that authentic, I think, aged look. And here on the White Rabbit, I put a piece. And then I decided I'm going to save some for us to use together. So let me get these inked, and then we'll kind of lay them on here and see where we're going to use those little precious pieces. Which I know is kind of, you know, when I was pulling it off the ribbon, I was like, oh, wow, this is still sticking on here. And then I thought, ooh, I love the color of this, so why not, right? Why not? And knowing I was going to do, you know, a double layer, I just printed this on my regular 90-pound Nina weight cardstock. My printer likes it, and I think the images print really pretty on there. But then the 2 layers, it's a nice, I think, a nice thickness for a bookmark. All right, so we can do a similar thing where we, you know, just pick a place to stick a little bit of it. And again, just to give it kind of that vintage vibe, I like it. And it's pretty sticky. I'm going to burnish it down. We could add extra glue, but I don't think it's going anywhere. And then this piece, like I said, I only put it on 2. This one we may get to do all 4 if I incorporate that as well. Let's put this one. This one didn't get one last time. I'm going to just put it, I like it right to the edge. And I'll just trim that tiny bit off. I don't know why I like this. I just do. And some digital kits will even sometimes come with like a faux piece of vintage masking tape or something, or something like this that you then can cut out and put at the top of something or whatever. And this is the real thing, right? So should Alice have a piece? This one's a little bit thinner. So what I may do, and it's going to definitely have to have glue because it's no longer sticky. Then I'm going to do it horizontal instead of vertical. and trim it off, and then I'll have a piece for the other one. Now, if this isn't your thing, just, whoops, I just tore it. If this is not your thing, don't worry about it. You could put a cute piece of washi tape. You could put nothing. These are so cute. The patterns and everything I just think are precious. So again, you do you. I'm just showing you some ideas of things that I thought looked kind of cool. I'm going to be a little more gentle this time. And it looks cool with that tear. And I glued it back down. I'm going to just do this one just like that. And not be so aggressive. It's soft. All right, that's kind of fun. Now, I also got into my stash and found that I had more kind of red and green buttons in my vintage button stash. And so I want to maybe use a button here or there, and I also want to use some ribbons and things. So just kind of think, I loved the green button here in the corner. It just had a nice fit. Now, of course, I've put this on this side, and I think it might look strange to have everything lined up on the same side. But this card is just literally falling apart when I go to pull one off. So I'm not going to feel bad about taking them off the cards. I know a lot of people really want the vintage buttons still on the card, and I have so many that are loose, but I think the ones on the card sometimes are really pretty, and the only reason I have them is to craft with them. And I know I could even incorporate the whole card into my project if I wanted to. But again, I know this is what I like using them for, so I'm not going to worry, and I'm just going to have fun with it. I don't want to cover up my ho-ho either. Maybe we'll put it there. Maybe she won't get a button, and I will put a button somewhere else. So, I don't know. She might. I may just put it there anyway. Now, what I did, here, I'll show you. What I did instead of sewing it on, because I am thinking I may, want that to be writing space. Now, I did wrap, I think, a ribbon around one of them, just a little bit. But I don't really want to see the threads on the back, I guess is what I'm saying. You could always sew it on and then layer a piece of paper over the top. Always an option. Or you can do what I'm about to do. I'm going to double my thread just so that I don't have to, go through the button as many times to see the red against the green. Tie a knot. And you're going to say, Pam, that knot's going to pull right through your button. And you are correct. But what I did was I went ahead and looped it like this. And then I just tied a knot on the back. Just tied it down. Whoa. And I'm going to do it one more time. If I had made the thread a little bit longer, this would be easier. But we'll get it. Never fear. Never fear. Oh, the other one I left it nice and long and it was super easy to tie. I'm not quite sure what I was thinking doing this one, but I think I've got it. Okay, we have a knot. And then I just, as if the same thing as if you were sewing it on. So we get that pop of red thread on our button. And then I'll tie it and we'll glue it on. Maybe one more. Doesn't that look good? I think so. And now I will just slide it up under those threads and tie it off. And it's going to be glued, so we're not going to see any of that. I think I'm going to put it right here. I may trim those a touch shorter. Sometimes I like seeing them hang out, and sometimes I don't want to. Just a touch of hot glue. There we go. Yep, it's cute. I like it. Now, I did my slot punch and on this one and looped it through. And this was after I just cut, or actually I tore. Let me show you. This is one of those ribbons. It's definitely more fabric-y than plasticky, but it does strip really fun and get kind of the ruffled edges a little bit. But I didn't particularly like how it looked. I even had to use a touch of glue to keep it from slipping. So this one may not be long enough. I was thinking a bow for Alice. Let's see. Yeah, cute. So we'll just do a little bow on this one. And she'll be done. There's so many different ways to make bookmarks, journaling cards, tags. You know, we call this a tag, whatever we want to call it. But it's one of my most favorite things to do. Let me know if you guys like to make these too. And if you're already a member of the Digital Collage Club, when you like Alice, let me just tell you, there are so many. There's like 2 or 3 pages when you put Alice in the search on Digital Collage Club. It's just so much fun. So many different variations of Alice. So, all right. Let's do, I kind of keep going back to this one ribbon, but it is, I mean, really becoming a favorite, and I love it. Let me show you how I did it this time, because I did do it a little different. Because sometimes you see and this one will tear too, but I'm just going to do the scissors. Sometimes you see the glue on this one. So instead of wrapping it around this way and gluing, I decided to just put a tiny bit of glue and glue it to itself. And I have discovered, I think I told y'all this, that I have to use hot glue. Fabrifix would probably work, but the fiber, it's almost, again, like material, and it definitely needs the hot glue. And then I'm going to glue it down on here. And you see just a touch where I glued it to itself, but that's where we're then going to put a button. Okay, and we can do the red one, or we can do another one of these green ones. Let's do the green one this time. I have more green than I do red. And I think I'm going to leave the little piece of metal there. So we got the vintage tape, and we have this, and I just, I sometimes like to do that. I think it looks kind of cool. On the other one, on this red one that I did, I was able to use some of the string that had tied it on to the card and left that on there. So that was kind of cool. Oops. And I did this topper on a different one this time, so it's a little different. And then I definitely have been having fun with this like I said, that I just pulled out too from some of my shopping extravaganzas. And I think this will be cute to put a little piece here maybe. I'm going to do it. I may wrap it, or I may just glue it like I did this one and chop it off. Not sure. I did a loop on one of them. I'm kind of liking seeing this on the back. Maybe we'll just glue it to the back because this is the book page one to make the back look interesting. You know, why not? And then cut it off. I'm not going to wrap it around the other side, but we'll just chop it off there. That's kind of fun and different. And what do I want to put at the top of this one? We could just do this. Let me angle. And I may just staple it on. I think I like that. With my tiny attacher. All right, I hope you guys will give the video a thumbs up if you like it. And if you like my content, hit that subscribe button, leave me a comment, hype, all those things. I appreciate the help for my channel. I really, really do. I kind of don't want to cover up the berries, but I do like this red button right there. I don't want to cover up that either. I think I'm going to put it here. And we'll do the gold thread. We haven't done that on any of these. And I think with the little yellow stars and stuff, it'll be kind of cute. Let's see how this is going to work. I always get confused. Because when I want, like I'm thinking about threading it through and then doing a bow at on the front. So this is the one that frays really easily. And it's easier to not make me crazy, to just snip a little bit off as I go. All right, we're going to have this end. And now we're going to have this end. And I think, yay, we'll be able to tie it and do a bow. I hope. Or not. No, I think a bow. And this is the thread that it will kind of slip. So I usually put a touch of glue on it to dry. If you want to see some of the supplies that I've used in the video, pop on over to my Amazon storefront. It's not everything that I use is there, but quite a few, again, of my kind of basic supplies. Now I'm going to save these because I will be able to use them. I just cut it long to make it easy for me on camera to tie that bow. And then I will go ahead and just put a drop of glue. It will dry clear. You won't see it, but then that bow won't accidentally tear. Or not tear, but untie. Okay, and I'm not going to put a ribbon topper on him. Okay, let's look at what we made. Oh, we got to make the pocket. We got to make the pocket. Leave that out. Let's make the pocket while this is drying. So this is just like the easiest pocket ever. All I did was tear my paper down, and I think it ended up being, I don't know, a little more than 4 inches. Let's see if this one did the same thing. Yeah, same book. So I did that. And then I just kind of eyeballed the pocket. And went ahead and added some ink there. We'll add a little more as we go. And I glued it up. Super easy pocket. And this can then get installed on a journal page, or again, it can be just like a gift for someone. Let's see. This reindeer paper is what I used on the other one. So let's just use a strip of this to decorate our pocket. And then we'll add some washi tape and see what else we want to do, and then put our bookmarks in, our tags. All right. Easy book page pocket. Made lots like this before. Now these are some of my washi tapes from Ivy. This one is Christmas Wishes. And let's see. I'm just going to do a strip maybe at the top, And then on the other one, I did something as well. Let's just see what we think looks good. Maybe, I'm trying to decide if I want to do like one of the wide ones. This one seems to be calling my name. Yeah, we're going to just put this right along the top of the pocket. Reinforce it just a touch and make it look a little more decorative. And we will pick one. How about these presents? I also will have a link for you to the website where I get my washi tape, and I'm one of their affiliates as well. And there's a coupon if you want washi tape or stickers or things like that. You're welcome to go look, but don't, no pressure. If you don't, or if you already have a life supply of washi, I completely understand. But, some people do want to see or get some new supplies, and it's nice to have a coupon. Okay. And I was really happy they did a Christmas release early in the season this year so that, we got to get it. It's fun. They have all different types. We'll put Alice there. And then the Mad Hatter, I'm going to keep kind of towards the front because his button is still drying. Okay. Very cute. And there's the one I had made as a prototype. So let me know what you think. I hope you like them. Again, easy and fun, and what a special little thing to put on a gift for someone. Okay, take care, everyone. Until next time, have a great day.